Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chadatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha hastamalakam cha shishyam tam todakam vartika karamanyan asmadgurun santatamanatosmi shruti smriti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavat padam shankaram loka shankaram shankaram shankaracharyam keshavam badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mauno Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Vashishthante Vasatkrishiganaihi Avrutam Brahmanishthaihi Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandarupam Swatma Ramam Muditavadanam Dakshinamoorty Mide Vishram Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahiribodbhutam Yata Nidraya Yes Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivangkuro Jagadidam Pragnirvikalpam Punah Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kalana Vaichitra Chitri Kritam Maya Viva Vichrumbhayatyabimaha Yogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayitam Sri Dakshinamurtaye Yasyeva Spuranam Sadatmakam Kalpartakam Vasate Sakshat Tatmamasi Vedavajasa Yo bodhayatyashritan yak sakshat karanat bhavenna punaravrittirbhavam nidau tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Yasyeva spuranam sadatmakam asat kalpartakam vasate. Yasya eva ishvarasya eva atmanaha eva spuranam sadatmakam spuranam. About this only the question raised in the first part of this Manasollasa. Sad tada spuranatvam
Atmanaha va Ishwarasya va Atava Vishayeshu. Answer that was given Sad Tada the Spuranatvam. Both of them are belonging to the Ishvaraha only and not to the objects. Yasya it sakshat karanat, Yasyeva spuranam sadatmakam asatkalpartakam. Asatkalpartakam meaning the world which appears to be there and it is, even though not truly there, yet appears to be experienced by us. Bhasate, drishyate, anubhavati purushaha. Anubhavashilam. Achati. So it is possible that it is experienced as though it is true. Yasyeva spuranam sadatmakam asat kalpartakam bhasate. And that very nature of the self, which appear to be different, far away from one, sakshat tattvamasi veda vachasa bodhayati. Guruhu bodhayati. The Guru is teaching in the form of M. Mahavakya Sattvamasi Ta Sakshat Tattvamasi iti Veda Vachasa Upanishad Vachasa Shruti Vachasa Ashritan Shishyan Bodhayati. To those students who have come to surrender, Saranagati Gatavan Eva Shishya Tam Sishyam Prati Guruhu Bodhayati Sakshat Tattvam Asi Iti. You are that in this way. The student who has surrendered is being taught. So, Vishayaspuranasya Atmatra Dharmatvam is what we saw last time in the 6th verse. Janamityeva yajnanam bhavan avishya vartate jnatam mayeti tat paschat vishramyati antaratmani. Any object that we come to perceive in this world, even though the activity happening apparently in the level of the senses and the mind and buddhi, we saw in Panchadashi, that is Vishayaha outside the person, apparently. Vishayaha santi and manovrittihi Vishaya anusarena bhavati. The manovritti, the mental thought that arises in our mind as manovritti, which we call vritti or pratyaya, and that pratyaya is according to the Vishaya as is perceived by the senses. Manovrittehe Vishayaha Bahir Vishayaha. So the Vishaya for the mind, Vishaya for the manovritti is external objects. It is called idam vritti. Idam pustakam asti. Idam pushpam asti. Idam pushpam shobhanam asti. Or idam pushpam Neela rupam asti. Neela varnam asti ityadi. The report that is coming to the mind is through the senses. But then the mind manovritti also is illumined by buddhi. So buddhi vrittehe vishayaha manovrittihi. Aham vritti is the buddhi vritti. Aham vritti is the aham pratyaya is the thought that arises in the buddhi, and vishaya for that buddhi is manaha, manovritti. While we say that the mind is seeing through the senses, buddhi is knowing it. Buddhi sakshi. Manovrittehe sakshi buddhi. And that is why here it is put, Janami iti. Aham vrittihi is able to give this final part of Janami, I know. Janami iti yat jnanam bhavan vishayan. Vishayan avishya vartate. Through the mind, through the senses, as though the intellect or buddhi here, buddhi vritti, aham vritti, is able to recognize that there is an object. I know it. Asti janami. Asti manovritti. Janami buddhi vritti. Idam vritti is asti iti buddhi vritti. Janami aham iti buddhi vritti. I know. So, jnatam maya iti. Second line, jnatam maya iti. I know, it is known by me. Having thus the conclusion I know, then paschad vishramyati atmani. Vishramayati antaratmani. So then after that, it settles down. What? Yad jnanam janamedi atra sarva karma tvena ullikyamanam bhavan vishayan avishya vartate tad jnanam paschad antaratmani maya jnatam iti vishramyati paryavasyati ityartha. Interesting thing is, buddhi chidabhasa, otherwise known as jiva. This chidabhasa is also a reflection of consciousness, not the consciousness itself. For consciousness does not have any function or activity to do. As much as buddhi has the function of knowing, mind is having the function of emoting, feeling. The sense organs having their field of knowledge of seeing, hearing, etc. functions. Atmanaha karma kim bhavati. Akarta atma. So, the consciousness or the self does not have any action to do. Therefore, atmana karta bhasayita eva. It illumines by its presence. And as last class I told you, when you are watching a movie, everything you see, but not the cameraman or the camera itself. Kyun? The cameraman is behind it. You cannot see him. In the same way, but without him, that would not happen. The whole movie would not happen without that fellow behind the camera or the camera itself. In the camera, all the activities are captured, but the camera does not do any activity. It is just making sure that it is all captured, that's all. Here the camera at least doing the act of capturing, but in the consciousness, it is just being there. Just like a dreamer dreams many things, but you don't know the dreamer while in the dream. Can you know who is dreaming? The dreamer, without the dreamer, the dream would not happen, but the dreamer is not known in the dream. In the same way, here, this very chidabhasa, which is the buddhi vritti, aham vritti, which comes to have the ability to know, assumes that I am the knower. I, because of will, me alone, everything is known. but it does not give credit to what makes the buddhi able to know. That is why in Panchadashi we saw the Bauddhikas, those who are following Buddha Mata, they go up to the buddhi and stop there. But then Vedanta would give the argument of how that is inconclusive. Now, continuing here, what does it mean by Vishramyati? Settles down. It is said, Maya Jnatam iti paschat Vishramyati. It settles down, it subsides. Where? Antaratmani. Buddhi vrittihi antaratmani Vishramyati. Meaning, the vritti that is taking place, aham vritti that takes place in the buddhi, which is making the object known, it settles down, it merges back. Where? Antaratmani. Meaning, it goes back to its substratum. Swa adhishtanam pradi. Swa adhishtane vishramyati. Whatever is the adhishtana for the aham vritti, that's why Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi asked this question, ahamayam kudo bhavati chinvadaha ai patati aham nija vicharanam. Aham idam kutaha bhavati. From where does this aham pratyaya is coming? Iti vicharane this aham pratyaya, where does it come? Kuta agataha. From where it has come? Ahamayam kuto bhavati iti chinvataha. Ayi o patati aham. Aham vrittihi patati. Patati means what? It just falls. Falls where? And falls into its own source. So in the meditation, as one sits down, no doubt many things that can be done, thought of, and japa, mantra, and all that you can do. But ultimately, this single thought of aham vritti, which is there behind all thoughts, is also questioned. Where is the source of this aham vritti? Iti vicharane tad aham vrittihi atmani vishramyati. And so long as we don't ask the question, it remains active. It remains doing one or the other. एक सोच लिया, इसके बारे में बात कर लिया, इसके बारे में चिंतन किया, उसके बारे में. So it will keep moving and one object to another, one thought to another. And when it gets tired, it will go to sleep. But in the meditation, the Vedantic meditation is where the individual, having brought down the number of thoughts to the bare minimum and having gained the access to the aham vritti, which itself will take a lot of time because it is not easily comprehensible. And that aham vritti, when it is caught, then question the source of this aham. At that point alone, it will merge back into the Atman. And that is the reason why he said, Atmani antaratmani vishramyati. It will settle down there. Now, example is given here. Gatadi kani karyani vishramyanti mridadishu Vishvam prakasha binnatvat Vishramyet parameshware. Gatadi kani karyani vishramyanti mridadishu Vishvam prakasha binnatvat Vishramyet parameshware. Karyani karane vishramyanti. All effects will settle down in the cause. Where does the effect stay away from the cause? Gurudev used to say, when you melt a golden chain, what you get is the gold, which is the karanam. When you remove the cotton from the thread, when you remove the thread from the cloth, a thread which is none other than cotton alone will remain, no more cloth will be there. Mud parts, when it is broken, mud alone will be there. Similarly, gatadikani karyani mrudadishu vishramyanti. Mrudadishu tva karane. Its own karana only it will vishramyanti, meaning it will settle down, it will merge back. Tatra drishtantamaha vishramiti vishwamiti. Yadyapi idamaham janami vijnatam imam maya iti cha sabhishayam jnanam vibhavyate iti samanameva tatabi pradama prayoge kartuhu kriyaya kartavyapti matram vivakshitam iti bhavana visheshyatuktam. Okay. Now here yasya tad yat karyam tad anyo uparaktaya basamanamapi swakarane eva vishramyati karyam cha karanat na atyantam atyanta binnam iti drishtanta dashtantika yoho abhiprayah. Yat karyam tad anya uparaktataya basamanamapi. Even though when you see a beautiful necklace, it appears to be not like the formless or the shapeless gold. When the gold is melted gold, it does not have any beautiful structure or the design, etc. But then when it is made like a beautiful necklace or a ornament or a bangle or anything, so that very design or the very form or the shape, etc., attracts our attention. We forget it is nothing but the gold which was earlier found in the lathe of the goldsmith's the workshop of the goldsmith. It was not having any particular shape or form. Is it not? Even though it appears to be different from the original. Tad anya upagraktataya basamanamabi, even though it appears to be different from the original, swakarane eva vishramyati. It will go back to its own karanam. So too, like a pot, etc., may not look like a mud, even if it is painted or designed, put or all that. But actually it is none other than the mud alone. When it is broken onto pieces, it will go back to its source only. The example is given only to say that vrittihi atmanaha binnavat pashyati drishyate. Atma na vrittihi. Atman is not a vritti. So, vritti is like the wave in the ocean. Ocean is not the waves, but waves are none other than ocean itself. Ocean water only. When the waves are rising up in the ocean, you admire them, or if you're caught in them, you're really in trouble. But otherwise, when you're sitting on the shore and then looking at the waves and waves are coming, so beautiful they are, so much noise they are making, all right. But H2O only. So they don't look like at the first sight of it, you don't see it as water. You see it as waves. In the same way, vritti is a wave of thoughts. But what is it? In and the core of that is Paramatma, the self. Bhinnavat tishtati. As those different from it. Karyam karanat bhinnavat. Karanat atyanta bhinnam. Atyanta bhinnam iti drishtanta. The example that is given is Gatam na. So mud is the cause, but Gatam, which is a Karyam, it appears to be different from the mud, but it cannot be far away from it. It indeed never far away from it. Never away from it. In the same way, as Upanishad would say, Pratibodha viditam madam amrutatvam hi vindate. Pratibodham, bodham prati. Pratyayam prati vindade atma. In every thought that arises in the mind, it is none other than Atman itself. Tat tasmat binnam na kinchit asti. That different from it, there is nothing else. Whether the thought is in the dream state or the waking state. Every thought that arises is none other than like that of the waves arising in the ocean. The ocean is the mass of H2O. Wave is also H2O only. In the same way. So that is why he says, Vishwam Prakasha Abhinnatvat. Vishwam, the world is Prakasha Abhinnatvat. It is not different from the brilliance of that Lord. Vishramyet. Where? Parameshware. Vishwam Parameshware Vishramyet. The world needs to be understood as to be merged into that Lord only. For Bhagavan also again and again said in Gita, Matta paradaram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva maya tadamidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina. He himself said, Maya idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina tatam. It is none other than me alone is spread over like the world here. So, Vishramayet, it has to be rest. Meaning, this is a sadhana. Vishramayet is, Vishramayet meaning one has to understand. It has to rest on the Supreme. So, when we thus bring about, experience the various thoughts due to the worldly experiences, one must understand that it is all happening or dancing on the stage or the platform of Paramatma only. And then where does it settle down when it is all over? Tasminneva layam gacchati mayye vasakalam jadam mayi sarvam pradishtidam mayi sarvam layam yati. In Kaivalya Upanishad, everything came out of me, dancing in front of me or on me only, and then goes back to me only. Okay, so this is to say that Satyatva and the Spuranatva of everything, including the thoughts and the world of objects which appear to be the object of the thoughts, everything is none other than the Parameshwara, the Lord alone. So now, if that is the case, Tattvam, if that is the case, that all of them are none other than Parameshwara only, Tattva Pradipatto Ajnanasya Pradibandhakata. Now, if that is the case, why is that we always do not continuously feel the presence of Atman? Why is that we are carried away by the thoughts and emotions, etc.? Why is that? So the example is given here, the next verse. Swagade naiva kalimna darpanam malinam yatha ajnane navrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavah. Swagatenaiva kalimna darpanam malinam yatha ajnanenavrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavah. Yatha, just as, darpanam malinam. The mirror seemed to be having dirt. Swagatena kalimna malinam darpanam. The mirror is not able to reflect clearly because of the dust or dirt that is on it by itself. When it is swagata, it has to be understood a little carefully. Of course, in the example, it is not somebody goes and puts the dust on the top of the mirror. The mirror, unfortunately, has the ability to attract this dust. You go away for 1 or 2 months and then come back home, the layer of dust is there. Somebody had put it. Nobody. It has the ability to attract dust. So, Swagatena Kalimna. Kalimna means dirt. In Tamil, it's not a Kalimann. Sometimes they say to the head of the person who doesn't think also properly. Kya hai? Clay, mud clay there. Kalimna, dirt. Darpanam malinam yata. In the same way, tata tena ajnanena avritam jnanam. Jantavaha jnanam ajnanena avritam. In the same way, of the human beings, of the living beings, knowledge, awareness, here to be jnanam to be understood, awareness. Jnanam, this awareness is ajnanena avritam. Here the jnanam consciousness can never be obscured by anything. See, the knowledge is of two types. One is what is known as arthajnanam. And this next one is called shastrajnanam. So here, arthajnanam, when we say, it's awareness, and nobody would say, I am unaware, even though we use that word. I am unaware about something. But I am not unaware of my existence. I am aware of my existence. But I am unaware of many things in this world. So, Paramapurushartha Paramatma Aham iti Shastrajnanam, that knowledge may not be there. But no one would say, I am not here. Nobody would say, I am not here. If you ask somebody, are you present or absent? And would anybody say, I am absent? So, my own presence is known, but in who I am, that I don't know. I am, I know, but who I am, I don't know. And that who I am is obscured by many other notions about myself. About bodily, I have say I'm a human, or I'm so and so in terms of relationship, etc. So these are all the ideas or notions about oneself. So about who I am, I have a problem, but I have no problem. So what is this swagata ajnana? So swagatena iva ajnanena avritam. This it we understood as Atma Vismritihi. Self-forgetfulness. Self-forgetfulness is what is here to be understood as Swagata Ajnana. So that's why he says, Yadyevam advidiyameva tattvam tarhi kadam sarvo lokaha sarvo loko na pratyeti iti ashankya. Even though it is non-dual, one presence only, yet people, why they do not know? Sahaja dosha vashat. Sahaja means natural, dosha, defect. Vashat. Iti abhipretya drishtantena upapadayati. It is being presented with the drishtanta example here. Yata darpanagadena kalimna darpana swabhavaha achadyate. Just like the dust that is found on the top of the mirror, it appears to be its own nature of reflection being obscured or is covered up. Tata, the same way, swagatena anadi anirvachaniyena ajnanena. So too, here, the ignorance which is anirvachaniya, indescribable. Why it is indescribable? Because I am forgetting something. I am forgetting something which I don't know that I am forgotten. See, if I remember that I forgot, see, if you ask me, remember this person? Yeah, but I forgot his name. So I know that I forgot. Right? Here, you can't even know that you forgot. So what do you do with this? आपने भूल गए? मैं नहीं भूल गया. मुझे सब मालूम है. The problem is that if you think that we don't know everything, then who can teach us? So here, anirvachani. Why and how you forgot cannot be said. But one thing is clear, you forgot. Forgetfulness has taken place. Why? From when? This is anadi. We do not know from when onwards you have forgotten this. Why you forgot that? And you don't even know that you forgot. So, anirvachaniyena ajnanena atma yadatmyam. Yadatyam. Atmanaha yadatyam. Atmanaha. Yadatyam means yadatyam means where it is a natural state of its own being. Yadatyam achadyate. Being covered. Tena, due to that, jantavaha, these all living beings, muhyanti, moham, mityajnanam, the false knowledge, it continue to remain in, what is that? Drishtru, drishya, karya, karanadi, vibhagam. The difference between drashta and drishyam, karya and karanam, ityadi, Veda jnanam vibhagam paramartha vishayagam prapnuvanti. Vibhagam paramartha vishayakam. That the difference in that between oneself and this one's own true nature, that mithya, they obtain. They come to suffer. So this self-forgetfulness can be overcome by what? Now you come to Shastra Jnana. Shastrajnanam Jnapakartam. This Shastrajnana is first of all indicates that there is this forgetfulness. It happened and it can be overcome, and what you have forgotten is not something external to you. What you have forgotten is about yourself. So, Ajnana Nivritti Atma Smritihi. Ajnana Nivritti, removal of ignorance, is only to bring about the awareness of oneself which one has forgotten. So that is the reason why all suffering, samsara dukkha, is taking place because of Atma Vismritihi. It is because of the self-forgetfulness that has happened. And Bhagavan Krishna also in Gita puts this point, Ajnanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. It's directly quoted from Bhagavad Gita only. Now, how it can be overcome, this self-forgetfulness? Upadeshena, Guru Mukhad, from the teacher's own words, by his own teaching alone. That's why the next word said, Satshat Tatmamasidi Veda Vajasa Yo Bodhayat Ashritan. Yaha Bodhayati, one who teaches that those who have surrendered to him with the Mahavakya. Yes, Sakshat Karanat, one who is able to comprehend that clearly, directly. Na bhavet punaravrittihi bhavambonidau. To such a person, there is no rebirth in this very ocean of transmigration. Now, what is this Tattvamasi the Vedavajas? That is what is taken up now here. Jiva Ishvara Veda Pratipattau Dehasya Pratibandhakatvam. Now, in this oneness that is going to be talked by the Veda Vakya, what is the first and foremost obstacle here? Gadakasho Mahakashaha Gatopadikrito Yatha Dehopadikrito Vedaha Jivatma Paramatmanoho Gatakasho Mahakashaha Gatopadikrito Yatha Dehopadikrito Vedaha Jivatma Paramatmanoho. We know this example, Maha Akashaha, the outer space, which is endless, and Gata Akashaha, the part space. And the difference between these two apparently is because of Gata Upadi, the structure of the part, which makes it feel that the space is conditioned, limited, different. Gatakashaha Mahakashaha Gata Upadi Kritaha Yata. That very outer space, limitless one, it appears to be a part space due to the part structure, Upadi, limb, the thing that is apparently conditioning the space, make it appear as conditioned. In the same way, Jivatma Paramatmanoho, between the Jiva and the Ishvara, Paramatma, Vedaha, the difference is Deha Upadi Krataha, born out of the conditioning of the Deha. Deha here can be Stula Deha, Sukshma Deha, then the Karana Sharir also, Sula, Sukshma and Karana. All the three levels of the bodies are conditioning. Now, interesting thing is, this Stula Dehasya, Stula Deha Upadi, is what we identify with and feel conditioned while at the state of waking. When we move into the state of dream, this conditioning is not there. Yet something is conditioning. Manaha. Bodily, we are not conditioned because we do not even have an awareness of that there is body. But there is a conditioning there also, what is called Manaha, Sukshma Sharir. This Sukshma Sharir also can be overcome in meditation. But there, one faces the next one, Karana Sharir. See, Karana Sharira is Karanam. But we don't know it's a Karanam until then we go there. Katam Karana Shariram iti katyate. Why is that Karana Sharir is called Karana Sharir? उसका कारण क्या है? क्योंकि यही है कारण. So that we come to know only when we cross over to understand that mind or the Sukshma Sharira itself is not the cause, there is something else which is holding it. So only in the quietness of the meditation one comes to see that Vasanamaya Kosha, Avidya Kosha or Anandamaya Kosha or otherwise known as Karana Sharira, so subtly there to hold you back. It will not so easily will release you. That is where the Prakriti has a hold on you. All the karmas, all the past karmas which has left impressions in your psyche and through which the subtlemost part of the Prakriti is working. And that is the cause of even when you are sleeping, it is allowing you to breathe. It is doing a lot of things to make sure that you are alive. But that very Karana Sharira is the one which is holding everything in its captive. And that we come to recognize only when we withdraw not only from the body, but also from the thoughts and vrittis of the buddhi. And then when we come to the absolute stillness, we realize that the hold of the Karana Sharira is very strong. So here, Deha Upadi Krito Vedaha Jivatma Paramatmanoho. Evam Sarvasya Veda Vyavaharasya Moolam Ajnanam Ityuktva Jiva Ishvara Vedamanetu Adhikam Nimittam Drishtantena Aha Gata Akasha iti. In this example, how he is going to point out the Upadi Krita Bandhanam. How the bondage is created by the Upadi. Yada Swabhavataha na anavachinne akashe, unconditioned space, Gatam Upadim Nimitti Kritya, keeping the Gata Upadi as the reason, Gatena Krodi Kritatvena, being taken up as though the space is taken up by the part, structure, Amsham Kalayatva, a part of it has been taken, Gata Akashaha, part space, iti Ekaha Bhagaha Vyapadishyate. It appears to be as a part of the outer space, as though it is a part of the outer space. Eka Amsha, part of the Eka Bhaga. Gatat Bahishta Upekshaya, Gatat Bahishta Upekshaya, when Mahakasha iti. So when we come to remove the Upadi from there, we come to realize that it is none other than, it is not that the Gata Akasha, the part space has become the Mahakasha. It is not extended even. It is recognized. Na paramartataha, not really. It is not that part space has become the outer space. Really speaking, it is not true. It is always there only. Akashasya amurtasya kenachit parichetaha sambhavati. Because outer space can never be divided. It cannot take any other form. So the part is not a form created by the outer space. Or even part space is not created by the outer space. So therefore, really speaking, there is no two divisions at all. Paramartataha na. Tata, in the same way, Jivatma Paramatmanoho, between the Jiva and the Paramatman, Deha Upadhikrito Bedaha Drishtavyaha. That is why we can come to see the conditioning of the consciousness due to association of it with the body. Niramshe Paramatmani, that Paramatman which has no amsha at all, no part at all, Avachetasya Paramartataha Anupapattehe. Really speaking, it is not possible to have any kind of such demarcation, division in the unconditioned consciousness. Tatacha dehena aham manushyaha ityadi prakarena visheshyamanaha sa eva chidatma jivatma iti uchyate. When one comes to identify with the body and say aham manushyaha ityadi, in this way an idea or notion that I am a human because of the human body, in these kind of things, such an individual alone is called Chidatma, or yes, that Chidatma alone is known as Jiva. Jivatma iti uchyate. Chidatma eva Jivatma. Ishvara eva Jivaha. Brahma eva Atman eva Jivatman. In that way, one comes to have a name for the Amsha. Saeva tena abhisheshyam pramanaha Ishvaraha iti. He alone is none other than qualificationless Ishvaraha. Dehadescha upadehi chidatmani adhyasamantarena, without the superimposition of the body, etc., which is unfortunately due to ignorance input, sambandha nirupanat, the association is provided. Na jiveshwaryoho vastavaha bedaha. Really speaking, there is no difference at all. Sambhavati iti abhiprayaha. Jivasya paramatma amshatva stat vikaratva sadantratva pakshaha agrehi nirasidyanti. Nirasipyanti. So now, therefore, the notion that Jiva is only an Amsha of Parameshwara and Vikara of Ishvara, in this kind of a notion that is created, that is all going to be removed right now in the next few verses. How? By explanation of the Tattvamasi Vakya. So now we see Jiva Ishvarayohu Aikya Jnapana Vidanam. The oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, how it is revealed by the knowledge. Tattvamasyadi Vakyaistu Tayoraikyam Pradarshayate. Soyam Purusha Ityukte Pumaneko hi drishyate. Tattvamasyadi Vakyaistu Tayoraikyam Pradarshayate. Soyam Purusha Ityukte Pumaneko hi drishyate. by the Tattvamasi iti Vakya, Tattvamadi Asyadi Vakyaihi, by those statements, Tayoho Jeev Ishwarayoho Aikyam Pradarsyate. The oneness of them is being shown. Now the example is in the second line. Soyam Purushaha ityukte Puman Ekaha hi Drishyate. Saha Ayam. There are two words here. Saha Ayam. Saha means that. Ayam means this. So you saw someone yesterday in a mall or a shop, and there you saw him as a salesman or a person in the shop wearing his coat and tie and other things, and is very professionally he was sitting there, staying there and explaining some product, etc. So you saw him. Then next day, that is today, you went to your friend's house and your friend's brother walked into that home with his jeans and a t-shirt. So you looked at it. You have seen him somewhere. Where do you see him? Where did I see him? So you start thinking. So your friend says, oh, that's my brother Devadatta. Oh, your friend Devadatta. Oh, your brother? Oh, yeah. Yesterday I saw him in the shop. Oh, but he was wearing a beautiful coat and tie and very professionally he was talking about this product. Same Devadatta is the one here right now in front of me. Same. Wearing a shorts and a t-shirt. Now, the person has not changed. What he was wearing yesterday is changed to what he is wearing today. You saw him in a shop, now you're seeing him here. So there you saw, and here you're seeing. That person you saw is this person you see here, but the person has not changed. Desha, Kala, Upadi changed. Yesterday, that place wearing that dress. Today, this place wearing this dress. These factors have changed. But the person whom you saw yesterday is the same person whom you are seeing today. So, Saha Ayam Purushaha. That person alone, this one, Ityukte Puman, the Purushaha, Ekaha. There's only one person only there. So, what is that you have done to understand that same person is this? You removed in your mind the dress he was wearing or the atmosphere or the environment in you. He was standing there in the professionally, he was standing in a shop which was selling various electronic products, whatever. Now he is sitting there in the sofa with that short and that t-shirt and sipping a tea. So the same person only. So you have removed the Desha, Kala, Upadi, what he was wearing, etc. But therefore, only when you have removed these factors, in this case, the three things, the time, the place, and the dress, when you remove that, you will understand same person only is here. In the same way, between Ishvara and Jiva, certain things have to be removed and one thing must be kept common. Just like the Purushaha, same person only, that you have the common factor you kept. What is contradictory you removed. Time, space, and the Upadi you removed. In the same way, Ishvarasya Upadi, when you remove, and Jivasya Upadhi also you remove, you will find Jiveshwaryoho Abhedatvam. There is no difference between Ishvaraha and Jiva when the Upadhi is removed. Just like Gata Upadhi, when it is Vilaye, Gata Upadhi Tiraskarane, Gata Akasha, Gata Upadhi Krita Akasha, Gata Akasha Eva Maha Akasha, Iti Drishyate. Tata Eva Jiva Ishvarayoho Upadhi Vilaye Ekaha Atma Iti Drishyate. Veshahanatah Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam Swatmarupatah. Veshahanatah, remove the Vesha. Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam. So when one removes this Vesha or the external coverings, which makes it appear as different, what you see is that one presence only. That is what is referred here in the Tattvamasi. That is none other than you. That is you. That Ishvaraha alone you are. So we'll see more of it in the next class. Next class is on the 11th. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Guru